Awesome.
Hello and welcome. This is Jeanette Gazella, founder and president of the International Association of Professional Life Coaches. And today we have our Masterclass, which is the exact Facebook ad formula I used to generate a 5-figure payday in just 3 days, and that's with Tammy Lane. And before I turn it over to her, let me just tell you a little bit about Tammy. I met Tammy, what was it, last year or really yeah, I think last year.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, we were at a joint venture partner event and really liked each other's products and wanted to do some work together. So I was impressed with Tammy, and she actually impressed everybody at the event too. So she's a Facebook advertising expert and business growth accelerator, and she is fiercely committed to helping coaching-based entrepreneurs build systems for consistently and automatically welcoming new clients and filling their programs. A former CPA whose first business generated millions, Tammy's Facebook advertising insights and perspectives have been featured in Forbes magazine, on NBC, CBC, Fox, and many other media outlets. Her Facebook ad systems are coveted by luminaries including Laura Langmeyer, Christian Michelson, and many other big names in the online industry, along with aspiring luminaries eager to unleash Facebook advertising to create a faucet of never-ending, high-quality leads, clients, and sales for their growing businesses. And just an added personal note, Tammy was so impressive at our JV event last year that Laura Langmeyer and Christian Michelson agreed to promote her. So, or along with several other people who were high-end coaches. So we're really honored to have you here, Tammy, so welcome.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited. I love sharing about Facebook ads.
Yes, and I think that we have a lot of people who are eager to hear about it.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here and share. I'm going to go through sort of how things work and just really give people an idea of whether it's something that can be applied to their business or not as we go through.
Great.
So shall I go ahead and dive in?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So thank you for the wonderful introduction, Jeanette. That was lovely. And yes, we met at a JV partner event last year. And I did have a lot of people interested because I'm getting such great results with Facebook ads. And so there was, I got a really great feedback while I was there. And I'm excited to share those same strategies that have been getting such good results with you here today. So I'm going to cover 3 things as we go through today. I call it the quick formula that's going to predict your success with Facebook ads because they're not going to work for everybody. And I'm going to show you how to tell if they're going to be a fit for you. I'm going to talk about the 3 things that you need to have in place before you ever think about starting an ad campaign. Because if you don't have these things in place, you're just going to lose money. And I'm going to talk about the quickest and most profitable way to get started with Facebook ads. So I generally talk with people who are in a few different situations. The first being maybe you've been struggling to bring in as many clients as you want, and you've been working really hard to bring in those clients that you have bringing in, and you just want to have a stream of high-paying clients, but aren't really interested in cold calling or selling. And that's one of the reasons I love Facebook ads so much is that you're never in that situation. I'm going to talk about that. And a lot of people come to me for training if they've been thinking about Facebook ads but aren't very sure if they're too good to be true. They've heard the success stories out there, but they've also heard about people losing money with Facebook ads. And I'm going to be really to the point and down to earth about what it takes to be successful and help you bring in each client easier than you may have been bringing them in now. So first off, I just want to mention that I've created a special Facebook ad success workbook for you. You can go grab that at fbfawcett.com/Jeanette. You'll be able to see that on the screen. If you've dialed in, it's fbfawcett.com/JEANNETTE. And you can download the success workbook there. I'm going to walk through that as we go through the call today. So that's going to be really helpful if you have that in front of you. So the first thing I want to talk about is why you should even consider Facebook ads in the first place. You know, there's lots of different ways that you can start bringing in clients. Why are Facebook ads going to be possibly a good solution for you? I know it can seem super confusing out there with so many choices about, you know, you hear all kinds of different ways to bring in clients. And I know that it can be really overwhelming and frustrating to hear all these ideas and know that you couldn't possibly implement them all. But honestly, there's just really three ways that you can bring in clients. You can network directly to bring in either clients or partners, as Jeanette was talking about, bringing in joint venture partners. And so that can work really well, but it can take a lot of time. And so, you know, if you're going out to networking meetings, you're only going to be meeting a few potential clients at once, or maybe you're a speaker and you're going to get in front of a few more, but it still involves you traveling to a location or participating in a Facebook group and taking up a lot of your time networking, whether that be you're looking to meet clients or looking to meet partners. The second way that you can bring in clients is what I call so-called free content marketing. And I say so-called free because when you really get down to it, most content marketing is not really free in terms of the cost to you because of the time that you have to put into it. So I got started online actually blogging. And I was quite successful at that. And I was bringing in, you know, thousands of visitors to my website every day. But the problem with it was when I figured it all out, was getting paid about $2 an hour for all that work that I was putting in by blogging and doing social media posts and all those things. It was hard work, and the return on that investment wasn't great. And then Google came along and changed the algorithm on me, and I lost all that free traffic that was coming in, and that is a hazard anytime you're using. For example, with Facebook, a lot of people built up really great Facebook page followings, tens of thousands of people, and their posts, if they posted something there, it would go out to all those tens of thousands of people. Now, if you post a post on your Facebook business page, less than 6% of those people, if you're good, 6% will see it. If your posts aren't getting a lot of engagement, even fewer people than that are going to see that post. So it can just be taken away in an instant, that so-called free content marketing. So there really are some limitations there. Now, the third way, obviously, I'm going to be super excited about is paid advertising. And the reason that I'm so excited about paid advertising is because once you can spend $1 on an ad and bring in more than $1 in revenue, you really got your business made, because you can just escalate it, put some of the profits back into your ads and escalate your income very, very quickly. If something happened and say some sort of ad didn't work anymore, you can take that same paid ad system and apply it to a different ad. But because it's not free, it's very, very unlikely that, say, Facebook is going to take away their paid ads, because that's how they generate their revenue. So once you have a system that's actually working, you can really skyrocket your business so quickly, because you're going to start reinvesting some of the profits back into that paid advertising, and you can just ramp up that as quickly as you want, entirely under your own control. And that is why I'm so excited about paid advertising and helping people get that. I think there's some some hesitance, some holdbacks from people getting into paid advertising. A lot of people go online thinking that their marketing is going to be free. Well, no source of marketing is free. You're either going to spend a lot of your time, too much of your time, or you're going to spend some money to get your message in front of the exact right people. And I would so much rather teach you a system where you can get in front of the right people under your own control by spending $1 on advertising, bringing in more than $1 in revenue, in some cases $5 or $10 or $100 more than that dollar that you're putting into the paid ads. So super passionate about this. But why do you want to even consider Facebook ads out of all the paid ads out there? So there's a lot of different types of advertising that you can get into out there. There's radio, there's TV, there's Google ads, there's LinkedIn ads, there's Twitter, there's classified, and there's newspaper ads. So one of the hugest benefits about Facebook ads is that you have very specific targeting. Now that is quite different than, say, radio or TV or Twitter ads, and even Google ads. So obviously TV and radio are not very targeted. You're not going to be able to get your message in front of your exact right ideal clients. It's going to go out to every one of their watchers or listeners. Now, once you start getting into something like Google ads or Twitter ads, you're going to be able to much more definitively target your market. You can specify with Twitter, you can do age ranges and accounts that people are following. With Google ads, you're going to be looking for things that people are actually searching for. But I call it the magic of Facebook ads is that the targeting can be so specific in terms of, so if I'm a dating coach, for example, and my clients are 45 to 55 women who have just become single in the last year, I can put my ads only in front of women who are 45 to 55, and I can target them so specifically that I can put the ad in front of them if they've become single in this last year. And so the targeting in Facebook is way more powerful than any other method that I know of. There's video ads out there on YouTube and things, but Facebook ads are cheaper than any of those other methods because you can be so specific and only pay to put your ad in front of the exact right people who have the highest chance of becoming a client. So I'm getting all worked up about this. I'm super passionate about this because I think people don't necessarily recognize the difference in Facebook ads when they're thinking of it. But that is one of the reasons they work so well, is because they're cheaper than any other form of ad to get your message in front of your exact right client.
And Tammy, that's a good point too, because a lot of times we think, oh, well, if we can just get a lot of traffic to our site, it's a numbers game. And, we'll eventually get enough people that a percentage of those will buy our products. But really, it's the opposite, that you want limited traffic that is really high quality and targeted to your specific problem that you solve and solution that you offer.
Absolutely. And in some respects, it's still a bit of a numbers game. Not every person that's coming in from Facebook, but they have way higher chance, like you said, Jeanette, of actually becoming a client than some of those broader targeting methods of just getting traffic to your site. So good point. So the second reason why I love Facebook ads is that they're very, very low risk to get started with. If you look at something like radio or TV ads, you're going to go in and you're going to create your ad all up front. You're going to pay a big spend up front to get your ad on the radio or TV, tens of thousands of dollars in many cases, or hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then you're not going to know how successful that ad is until you've spent all of that money up front with the ad and see the results coming in. If it's not a winning ad, you have put out those tens of thousands of dollars and you're just going to lose that money. Now, the brilliant thing about Facebook ads is we're going to get you started with just $5 or $10 a day. And that is really going to allow you to test out whether your ads are working. If they're not working, no problem. We're going to tweak them. I'm going to talk about the ad system in a little bit, but you really have a very low investment to get started with Facebook ads so that you can get the feedback from the people who are clicking on your ads, the people who are opting in. That is all trackable within your Facebook account. You can see exactly who is opting in, how many people are opting in. And even then, go put your ads in front of people just like the people who are opting in. I'm going to talk about lookalike audiences in a little bit. But they're super budget friendly because you can get started with such a low dollar investment. And that is why I love them, especially even for new people. Some people think Facebook ads aren't for new people. But if you can start getting in the data from Facebook ads early on and keep tweaking your, say, free offer that you're going to put in front of them and your paid offer that you're going to put in front of them, you will be way farther ahead. You will be successful more quickly than you ever would if you were just trying to go without having that data coming back that you can get from your Facebook ads. So low risk because they're super budget friendly. And the last thing that I just wanted to mention is that these stats that I'm talking about aren't just for number crunchers. I know a lot of people, when I say stats, they get a little, I'm a CPA in my old life. So obviously numbers, hopefully I'm good with numbers. But I just want to say you don't need to be really good with numbers in order to make the Facebook stats that you're going to get really make it worthwhile for you. There are super easy numbers like, for example, you're going to know how many people are opting in. Like if 100 people come to your opt-in page, you're going to know that 46% of them are opting in. And then you have the option of tweaking a headline or something like that to see if you can get that opt-in rate just a little bit higher. Even 50 or 60%, that's going to really make your ad cost even cheaper. And so I say stats aren't just for number crunchers because they are an invaluable part of making your business work quickly. And so I'm super excited about that. And I covered off all this whole slide before I switched it. But like I mentioned, they're the best to get in front of your dream clients. Is Facebook ads better than any other paid ad on any platform? They're starter budget friendly with as little as $5 a day, and that the stats are really one of the most invaluable parts of Facebook ads, in addition, of course, of bringing in that flow of clients. But they can really work to your advantage. So I just wanted to mention, I've got this slide up here because people often have a hard time seeing exactly how they're going to get enough clients in out of Facebook, or they think they have to invest, thousands of dollars. And lots of my clients are spending $10,000 or $20,000 a month on ads. But the thing I just want to say is I talked about getting started with that $5 or $10 a day. That's the little stack of coins there. What you're going to do is you're going to get started with that. You're going to get your ad working. Once you know that for every $10 you're putting into ads, you're bringing in $20 in income, then you can start reinvesting some of those profits back into your Facebook ads to increase your ad spend. So if I invest $10 and I make $20, maybe I take $5 out for me and I reinvest $5. So now I have a $15 a day ad budget. Now I'm going to increase that. I'm not going to do the math properly here on the call, but so now I've got $15 a month in ad spend. I'm going to say double what I'm making. So I'm going to make $30. I'm going to take some of that for me, and I'm going to put a little bit more money back into Facebook. And that is the way you gradually increase the amount of ad spend that you can put out there without ever taking any additional money out of your pocket, because you're going to reinvest the profits that you're earning, a portion of them, until you get to the ad spend that you want to be making. And then you'll just be bringing in that flow of clients every day. If it's 10 clients or if that's 100 clients a day, whatever it is for you, without ever having to go, oh my God, I have to come up with $1,000 budget a day for Facebook ads. You will just gradually get there without ever feeling like you have this huge ad spend. So let's talk really quickly about whether your clients are on Facebook. Where are you going to find them? So I just wanted to mention these couple of stats. they just updated this in July. It went from like 900 million. Now it's 1.13 billion people are on Facebook every single day. That's how many users are on Facebook. And the average Facebook user in the US is on Facebook for about 0.4 hours a day, 40 minutes a day. And so I just want to say there's very few instances where we wouldn't be able to put your ads in front of the right people using Facebook ads, because there are a whole lot of people on Facebook. There's a couple of instances where I would maybe recommend that Facebook ads, we would want to be cautious when we're going and testing Facebook ads to see if they're going to work. One of those situations would be if you have an extremely elderly market, and I would say that age is creeping up and up every year. But if your market is 80 plus, that it may be more difficult. Not saying we couldn't do it, but the other thing you should know about Facebook ads is if you have that elderly market, the age range that you can target for that is 65 plus. So if your clients are not 65 to 80, they're only over 80, that's going to be a bit more expensive for you because you're going to be putting your ads in front of those 65-year-olds. So that's the one circumstance. The other circumstance would be if all of your clients are not at all tech savvy. And I think it's surprising the level, how many people are actually on Facebook, even if they say don't even have a computer or anything, but they're on Facebook because they need to connect some way with a group or kids or whatever it is. And so not very many instances where we wouldn't be able to target your clients on Facebook. So I love that. So the next step, now that we know that your clients are probably on Facebook, unless you fall into one of those two categories, the next step is deciding whether Facebook ads are going to be right for your business. Are you going to invest in ads, and are you actually going to make money? So just a reminder, I have this checklist and everything in your Facebook Ad Success Workbook. If you want to go grab that, it's at fbfawcett.com/Jeanette. You can grab that and download it to go through as we go through the call here. But I have a quick little checklist of what's going to make you successful on Facebook. Now, the three things that I recommend are a lifetime customer value of greater than $200. And what I mean by that is that, not your service or your product doesn't need to be more than $100. If you're doing coaching sessions that are $100, that's totally fine. But what we want to look at is what's the average amount somebody would pay you once they become a client? Do they do 4 coaching sessions at $100 on average? So that's $400. If, for example, most of the clients you brought in only did 1 coaching session with you for $100, we would be a little bit more challenged to get your Facebook ads working well for you. It would be a bit more risky because we now need to make sure that we're bringing in 1 client for less than $100. Which is still totally doable. But if you have a lifetime customer value of $200 or more, you're going to have a lot of leeway in there to make sure that you're getting things working and not spending a ton of money more than you're making in the initial stage. So does that make sense, Jeanette, about the lifetime customer value?
Yes, it does. I think awesome. Most people have heard of that, I think.
Okay, good. So this would be this would be more in the range of if you have like a $10 book that you're wanting only to promote on Facebook, and that's the only thing that you have for sale, that's going to be a difficult thing to get profitable for you. But if you have a $10 book that then leads into a coaching package, so you're going to have some additional revenue coming in from some of the clients who buy the book, then we could totally look at making that work for you. The second thing is that you need to be clear about who your market is. It needs to be targetable on Facebook. And what that means is that you'd know some particular details about your clients in terms of, are they men or women? If they're both, that's fine. What age range are they in? We get to target all these things on Facebook. But not only that, but we would need to look at the kinds of other pages that your ideal clients follow. And so, for example, in a business market, many of you maybe know, say, Lisa Sasevich. So if I am a business coach and I'm wanting to put an ad out there, I might choose to put my ad in front of people who are already following Lisa. Like maybe I have a complementary product to what she's already offering. And so if I can put my ad in front of people who've liked her page, I have a really good chance that they're going to like my program as well. And so that's what I mean by targetable market. You need to know a few things about who your clients are and the kinds of pages they might be following, in addition to some of the demographic information, so that we can do the targeting. Just going to take a quick sip of water. And the third piece that you need is a success system, a Facebook ad success system. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. Because a lot of people think that you just go onto Facebook and you put a picture and you type some stuff in there for the ad copy, and that, yay, you're going to have this ad that's going to make all this money. But it doesn't really work like that. And I'm going to talk about the pieces that you need in order to be profitable with Facebook ads in just a second. But first, I want to talk to you about the 3 things that you have to have in place before you ever implement Facebook ads. Now, I walk through, I'm going to be inviting you to come to an additional Facebook ad training where I go through the system and everything that you need in a bit more detail. But for today's call, I just want you to have an idea of what those 3 things are, so you can start getting yourself ready to use Facebook ads. So first is the right Facebook ad system. That's going to be how we bring in all the people to come see what you have to offer them. And I hinted at that a little bit, but I'm going to go into a bit more detail in just a few minutes. The second thing is that you want to be offering an irresistible opt-in gift, an irresistible freebie to the people who are going to click on your Facebook ad. They're going to come to a page and you're going to offer them something for free. I almost always recommend this as the best strategy. We almost never want to offer something for sale directly from an ad because you haven't built up the relationship. A very, very low percentage, like 0.01% of the people are actually going to buy something from you on their first visit. And so our whole goal when somebody clicks on your ad is that the goal is we want their email address. And so you need to have this really irresistible freebie that you're going to give them so that you have a really high chance of having them give you their email address so that you can follow up with them, get to know them, start building that relationship with them, and so that they're going to be open to receiving the offers that you have for them. So the irresistible freebie is really, really critical. We never just want to send somebody to a sales page, almost ever, I'm going to say. And of course, the last thing you need is a hot offer, because what we want to do is make sure that your Facebook ad is actually turning into money, into clients for you, that you're not just wasting money like boosting a post and getting some visibility, but we want to be able to be spending the money on Facebook ads and then giving you a return on that investment so that you have an ongoing money to spend on your Facebook ads without it coming out of your pocket. So if we get all those 3 things right, then it's going to be easy for you to bring in that stream of high-paying clients that probably is why you're on the call with me today. And that is why I'm so excited about Facebook ads, about sharing this with you. And that is the exact system that I used when I first. So a tiny bit of story about me. I built up my first business, didn't have a client pretty much. Couple clients for a year. Took me a long time to get those things in place. I found Facebook ads. I got my hot offer. I got my irresistible opt-in gift lined up. Once I had those 3 things in place, I took my business to the multi-million-dollar level it was about 6 months from then. And things just really took off so quickly because I was reinvesting some of those profits back in Facebook ads, and it just really, really took off through a series of really unfortunate events, maybe a bad decision on my part in terms of who I invested with. I lost quite a bit of money was facing bankruptcy and really had to get, I had sold that previous business and I really had to get something up and working quickly. And I turned to Facebook ads. And these are the 3 things I put in place very quickly. In a few weeks, I had my irresistible freebie. I had my hot offer. I set up my Facebook ad system and I invested $126 in Facebook ads and turned that into $19,988. That figure is in my head because I was pretty desperate at that point. I had to start bringing in an income. And so turn to Facebook ads. Can't say enough how critical having all 3 of these pieces is in terms of bringing in the revenue that you're probably going to be looking for. And then it's just a matter of rinse, repeat. So once I'd made that almost $20,000 in those 3 days, I then had money to make my bills. I had money enough to reinvest in my Facebook ads. And then I just kept escalating that from there. And here we are today. And so please don't go do Facebook ads without having these 3 things in place, because you're going to lose your money. A lot of people who come back and say that Facebook ads don't work, they were missing 1 or more of these things when they were putting the money into Facebook ads. So the formula for Facebook ad success. And I'm going to go into what's the right Facebook ad strategy now, because I mentioned I don't want you just going in there wasting money on boosting a post without having a full testing system in place. And so what that means is that when I set up ads for a client, I would never, ever go put up 1 ad and then run with it and think, okay, now it's either going to work or it's not going to work, because chances are that 1 ad, even with all my years of experience with Facebook ads, likely that 1 ad is never going to be profitable. What we do is we put out a very specific sequence of testing ads. We test different things in each component of the ad, find the winning pieces in each of those ad elements and bring them together in our one, and find the 1 successful ad or 1 or 2 successful ads. So usually we would put up somewhere between 5 and 7 ads, maybe even more, up to 10. And out of that, we would have 1 to 2 winners. So if I just went up there and I put some money into 1 single ad, chances are I'm going to lose that money and I'm going to think that Facebook ads don't work. But if I put my money spread out over those campaigns in that testing pattern that I was talking about, then I'm going to quickly come up with the winning ad that's going to work for me. So that's the quickest and most profitable way to get started with Facebook ads. And what we want to do is start with the 2 things that all successful Facebook ads have in common, so you're not going to waste your money. It's the art and the science, and that's going to bring you in the client flow. A lot of people don't really recognize the fact that there's these 2 components. Now, maybe you see the art side, and that is the side where you get to pick the fun pictures and you get to write the ad copy and you pull them together. So that's the fun art part, the creative part that a lot of people envision when they're first thinking about doing Facebook ads. And it's not really that hard to pull an ad together. What's harder to do is to pull together an ad that's actually going to make you money. And that's a different story. So I just want to show you this quickly. This is a layout of an ad that you might see on the newsfeed. You can tell it's an ad because it says sponsored right up here under the Salesforce name. That's the only reason really how people can tell that it's an ad or not. And I just want to point out to you, so the ad image on a newsfeed ad, this is the ad that you're going to see when you're scrolling through the newsfeed. So there's the ad image, it's the post text above, the headline below the image, then the newsfeed link description, and the display URL. So the art part is all this that you see right here. And if you didn't know different, you might think that this is the only thing that a Facebook ad is about. So I just want to give you a couple tips about the art of the Facebook ads. Couple quick tips before we move into the science. Number 1 is the only purpose of the image, and a lot of people get this wrong when they're choosing their image. The only purpose of the image is to get your client to stop scrolling in the newsfeed long enough to come and read your ad. So we just need to think for a minute about what people are like when they're on Facebook, they're not looking for a solution when they're on Facebook. They are on there probably killing a bit of time, figuring out, my friend Johnny just got back from Hawaii, and my cousin Meg, oh, her cat's sick. Like, they're in that mode. They're killing a bit of time. They're connecting with friends and family, and they're scrolling through the news feed to see what catches their eye. If your ad image doesn't stop them long enough to come and see what your ad is actually about, they're just going to keep scrolling on by, and you won't even have a chance of getting them to your opt-in page. So the ad image, that's the number one thing that it needs to do. And a lot of people choose images based on their branding or different things. And when in fact, what we need to do is to be an image that will capture people's attention. And I'm going to send you out an invitation. If you've downloaded the workbook, I'll send you out an invitation to join me on the next training. I go a lot more in depth about how to pick the images and how to do the copy and things. But I want to get more into a little bit whether Facebook ads are going to work for you first, so that you can make a decision on that, and talk to you also about now the science of Facebook ads. So now part of this is the mechanics, meaning go here, type this in this box, do this to get the targeting, the mechanics. And that part you can Google probably to figure out the mechanics fairly easily. But it's not just about the mechanics. It's about how to set up a successful Facebook ad campaign. So what I don't want you to do is go in there, like I was saying, with like it's the lottery, buying one lottery ticket and hoping and praying that it's going to win you the big money, the big jackpot. We want to go in there with a testing system where we're going to test out several ad images based on different components that might be attractive to your audience. We're going to test out the headlines. We're going to test out the text to find you your winning ads, instead of going out and buying that lottery ticket by putting up one ad and hoping and praying that it's going to work. Now, the other thing when it comes down to the science is all of the ads that we do with our clients, whether that's the done for you ads or whether they've come through our Facebook Faucet program, all of the ads they do are based on ads that have been successful in the past. And that is a huge shortcut in getting your ads to work successfully, because we already know what's attracting clients online, the formats that are going to get people to stop scrolling the best. Now, so we have a huge library of successful ads. So obviously you wouldn't have access to that if you're just running out and doing your ads on your own. But here's a quick tip if you decide to do that, is that so if you see an ad in your newsfeed, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's successful. It's very likely one of the 7 to 10 ads that somebody is running before they find their winner. And so what you don't want to do is just go copy any ad that you see on Facebook, because chances are it's not a winning ad and it's not going to help you. What you want to do is look for the ads that are running on an ongoing basis over a period of weeks. So in your niche, you would want to be monitoring Facebook and come away with the ads that you see repeatedly, the same headline, the same image over a period of weeks. And then you can be almost assured that that is a profitable ad, because somebody wouldn't keep spending money on it if it wasn't going to be profitable. But we have an ad bank that we use always when we're doing our ads, of all the successful ads that we've done for clients. And as well, we have access to a larger, it's like a coalition of all the people who do Facebook ads, bring their successful ads together so we can all see what's working and what's not working. But that's a quick cheat that you can use if you're just wanting to monitor the Facebook newsfeed yourself. Don't just copy that first ad you see. Make sure that it's an ad that you're seeing on an ongoing basis. So I just wanted to mention again that you can download your Facebook Ad Success Workbook. We're going to be wrapping things up in just a couple minutes with some time for questions, but I just did want to mention, if you haven't downloaded the workbook and you are interested in further Facebook ad training, I'm going to suggest that you go request that anyways, and then I'm going to send you out in a few days an invitation. Will come out to you for the Get Clients Instantly Using Facebook Ads live stream that I'm going to be hosting. In there, I go a lot more in depth on some of the very specific ad things that how you would get your ads up. So I'd love it if you join me there. There'll be more Q&A after you have a chance. We're going to do that here with Jeanette as well. So you can download, and I'm also going to send you out a link to download my Facebook ad swipe vault so you can see that exact ad and why it worked. That one I spent $126 on and turned it into $20,000. So you can go grab that, and I'll be sending you the an invitation to go get that in the next few days too. So I don't know. I think that's about what I have time for. Jeanette, do you have questions maybe that I missed or skimmed over?
No, let's see if anybody else has questions, and okay. I'll just skim over my notes again while we're talking. So let me go and unmute everyone and see if we have any questions. Okay, so everyone is unmuted. Do we have any questions for Tammy?
Well, let me ask you this question for then everybody who's listening. If you want to either just pipe up or type in the chat box, how many have used Facebook ads before?
Anyone?
Never. Okay. I like to get a feel for where everybody's at. And okay, Carol and Dina. Sue's just getting started. So Sue, with you just getting started, are you on the line? Can you never used Facebook ads before? I hope that I've given you a good sort of perspective on what will work and what won't work and what you need to have in place. And Sue, if you have any questions about those three pieces we talked about that you have in place, do you have those in place if you're just getting started with Facebook ads? I'd love to answer any of those questions as well.
Now, Tammy, let me ask you a question here. So you said that you can get started fairly cheaply with Facebook ads, say $5 or $10 a day. But aren't you going to kind of be spending more money than that if you're running, testing 5 different ads at a time? Or are you doing those one at a time?
So in our testing system that we use, I have people, they can either do it concurrently or one after the other. So depending on what your ad budget is, if you're doing the testing all at once, your results are going to come in quicker. But you can also do the testing in a serial way so that you're spending that $5 a day only over a period of time. So both options can work.
Okay. Now, obviously, it would be a lot more beneficial to have someone help you with that, like you, who already knows all the ads that will work and how to test them and everything. But if someone just wanted to get their toe in the water first and test a couple ads, what would they be looking for in order to determine which ad is going to work? It seems like there's more than one thing that you need to look at, in other words.
Yeah, so there's a few things in Ads Manager where you can set it up so that it's monitoring a few different things. Facebook has some incredible, it's called a pixel. And now I don't want to scare anyone off. It's a little piece of code, but you don't actually have to know how to code. Lead pages, for example, you just copy and paste it into the little box where it says to paste it. So it's really quite easy to get on there. But with the pixel, once we get that on all your pages, Facebook will allow you to track all these things that I'm going to talk about here. So number one would be how much it's costing to get somebody to click on your ad. That's the first thing that we would want to look at. The second thing we want to look at is how much is it costing to get somebody to opt in to your free gift. And then ultimately, if the pixels are installed correctly, we also can tell right in the Facebook Ads Manager dollar amount that it's costing you to bring in each paying client. So if, for example, the package that you offer them, the first offer is like $100, you're going to know right in the Facebook ads module how much it costs you to get that client. So is that $10, or is that, if it's $120, obviously we need to make some things work a little bit better. But if it's $10, you know that that's going to be, even if your cost per click, which is how you're going to pay for your ads, even if that's a bit high, if you're still profitable, it doesn't really matter what the click cost is in the end.
Right. And if you have a free offer and that leads to perhaps a strategy session, if you're coaching, and you get a client from a strategy session that is paying you, say, $2,000, you can afford to then continue to use the Facebook ads, because you've made, depending on how much you spend on the ad, you've made, perhaps 10 times your investment. And so you have to be aware of, as she said before, the value of the client, and that's based on the value, what you're charging for your back-end product. What does this opt-in lead to? And, then you can say, well, if I can get one client a month, that's $2,000, then I could afford to spend a couple $100 to get them, right?
Yeah. And so the key is getting your ad system working to bring in that first client. And after that, you have your whole system figured out, and it's just a matter of, maybe taking $1,000 of that for the service that you're going to provide, your living expenses, setting aside that $1,000 so that you have a Facebook ad budget to work with now, and then you can start bringing in as many clients as you want by doing it that way.
Great.
I see there's a question from Dina. She says, I've heard people get their ads denied and they don't know why. Can you explain why this happens? The Facebook, I don't have the link right on me, but if you do a Google search for the Facebook ad guidelines, definitely before you are running any ads, you would want to make sure that you read those, because obviously not following their guidelines is one reason why your ads could get denied or even have your ad account shut down. And I have also a list of 7 other things that I'm going to share on the live stream about why people end up getting their ad accounts shut down or ads denied. So if you're planning to join me on the live stream, I'll be giving that away on there as well. But these are the 7 things that aren't listed in the Facebook ad guidelines. So, but definitely check out the guidelines as a starting place.
Great. Thank you for the answer to that, Tammy. And so you have this workbook, and then you're also going to have a live training session for people, which is very generous. Thank you for that. And for people who are listening to this recording later, than the training, you also have a series of video trainings that they'll get when they opt into this link, or do they need another link?
No, if they request the workbook, I'm going to send them out. The first thing I'm going to send them out is the swipe vault with that ad and why it worked, that I spent the $126 on to earn the 5 figures. I'm going to send them that first, and then there'll be a series of videos that I'm going to walk through some of the more details about how Facebook ads work. I'm going to talk about how to choose ad images. I'm going to talk a bit more about how the pixels work, because those are super exciting. And maybe I'll just mention a couple more things about the pixel, because we didn't really get a chance to talk about that. But the pixel is pretty magical when it comes to Facebook. And so once you have that installed correctly, we can do so many things. Like we can put an ad in front of only people who for example, have not opted in. So they come to your landing page, but they didn't give you their name and email address. We can put your ad in front of them to get them back, and they have a really high chance of opting in the second time you put your ad in front of them. We can do things like anybody, if you have a sales page, anybody who's visited your sales page but didn't buy, we can put your ad in front of them that way. It's just a super powerful tool that I'm so excited about. And I'm just seeing Sue's asking when the live stream is. That live stream is going to be October 25th. So you'll be getting an invitation out to that next week if you've downloaded the workbook. And I would allow a fair chunk of time. That is at 1 o'clock Pacific time, because I do go into quite a bit of detail about how to make your Facebook ad work. So I do suggest, the live stream was an hour and a half, plus I had tons of questions, people wanting to know how ads worked and different questions. So we went at least 2 hours last time, but an hour and a half for sure you'd want to block off for that.
Great. That sounds like a great training. I'm going to be there. I don't know about the rest of you, but I certainly want to learn more about Facebook's ads. I'm convinced.
I am so passionate. And bring your questions, because I do stay on live. I try and stay on live. My very last one, I think I was on 2.5 hours answering questions that people had. So as long as my voice holds out, I'll stay on to answer all the questions that you guys have as well.
Yeah, so be sure to take advantage of being able to ask an expert who knows really how to make money with Facebook ads. And I think this is a great way to not only get more clients for your business, a little easier than having to go through, all the things that she mentioned at the beginning, but also just to have like passive income. If you have a product that is digital that you can sell, you can still have an opt-in gift for that, and it goes right to your digital product, and you don't even have to be involved with that, and you're making money. So I think it'll work for that too, right, Tammy?
Absolutely, absolutely. I say that my work that I do, the trainings that I do, is for coaches, service-based providers, so who like consulting, or they do graphic design or those kinds of things, or they have a product that they sell, like a digital product that they sell. I don't do so much things like t-shirts and things like that, unless there's an additional business behind it in terms of, I do have a client who does sell t-shirts actually, but they have positive messages on them, and she does meditation stuff around it. So if you're a service-based provider or sell digital programs or courses or things like that, this would be the training that you'd want to be on.
Right, and also the digital product could lead to a higher back-end coaching program.
Yeah, and Facebook ads do work brilliantly for that. I have sold direct from Facebook ads packages up to $12,000, well, maybe even more than that, but on an ongoing basis, $12,000. So definitely if you have a high-end program or package, that can definitely work with Facebook ads as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. Does anyone, I have everyone muted because we were getting feedback, but if anyone has any more questions, they can just type it into the chat. And if not, we will consider this a wrap. And awesome. Thank you again for, we have one more, Sue.
I'm not totally sure I understand the question, Sue. How does this affect the new Facebook business?
Yeah, what's the new Facebook business?
Facebook does change things regularly. I'm not sure if that's what you mean.
Yeah, we'll see if she can clarify that.
I mean, Facebook changes their platform weekly. So I don't know. They have changed a few things in the last few weeks. I'm not sure if that is what you mean. They always will make Facebook ads work because that is their bread and butter, how they get paid. And so any platform changes that they may affect free. The last 2 weeks of changes. Yeah, they did change quite a few things. It hasn't changed at all how Facebook ads work. The things that it has changed is maybe the interface that you're using. A button has moved, those kinds of things. And the other thing that it has changed is if, for example, you have a business page and you're doing posts on it on a regular basis, they have changed the exposure that you get for free. So that is always changing, usually going down. And they sometimes make changes to Facebook groups and things. But Facebook ads are their bread and butter. And so the changes that they make to the ads generally never make things worse because they want to keep people happy. They want to keep people coming back to do ads. And so other than the interface that may look a little bit different, the strategy behind the ads or what works hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, and Facebook is going to make it easier and easier for you to do ads because that's their bread and butter, as you say.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, I think we're just about top of the hour, and thank you again for all this information and for the training that you're also going to be doing for us. And make sure you download that workbook in order to get the link to that training.
Awesome. And I look forward to connecting with you guys through email and also hopefully seeing you on the live stream as well.
Yes. So
you're
thanks.
so welcome.
All right.
Thanks for having me, Jeanette. It was fun.
Yep, it was fun. Thanks, Tammy.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, bye now.